Let me start you off with the story. I was recently hired to be a B cam for a comedy night event, and all I had to do was get some B-roll and stand behind the tripod while the comedians were giving their acts. Now, I was not asked to do the edit for this video, but I realized as I was shooting, I kept thinking to myself, how is this going to fit in the edit? How is this going to fit in the edit? How is this going to fit in the edit? And I realized that's the same kind of mentality I have when I'm vlogging, which makes me realize when I'm vlogging, instead of thinking about what is actually happening, I'm only thinking about how is this going to fit into the edit? What is the story that I'm trying to tell? How is this going to fit into the edit? And it drives me insane. I think I'm beginning to realize that maybe I don't like vlogging. Boom. Now, don't get me wrong, because I actually don't hate editing. Editing sometimes can be the most fun video game for me in the world. It's just that I don't really like having a bunch of clips and putting them into, DaVinci and trying to find the story in the edit. How I often describe event videography or vlogging or even documentary filmmaking sometimes is that I'm given a bunch of random words and then I'm asked to make a novel out of it, which, I think I'm okay at. Obviously I can get better, but it's just not the type of filmmaking that I enjoy, and it's also not the type of filmmaker that I want to be. For example, when I'm out vlogging, I don't really plan my day. I mean, sometimes I might be like, oh, we're gonna go to this cafe and we're gonna eat this thing. Or I might be randomly in the spur of the moment where I'm like, oh yeah, this is really cool. I'm so excited, blah, 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 blah. But even then, in the edit, it's never really a cohesive story that was actually planned. And you can say, Tim, why don't you just plan out your day to film your video? Well, when that happens, I feel like I'm not really living my life. I feel like I'm just filming. And so I become a bad date to Jules and I become a bad filmmaker because I feel like I'm trying to do two things at once that doesn't really work out. My dream is not to be a vlogger. Yes, I would maybe like to make money off of vlogging, but my real dream as a filmmaker is to make narrative films, movies that people watch in a theater, cinema. One day, when I start making real movies, I'm going to be working with a crew and not just myself. I'm going to be working with cinematographers, gaffers, actors, and if I'm always relying on getting a bunch of clips and finding the story in the edit, more than likely, I'm probably going to go over budget. I'm just going to waste a bunch of people's time, and no one is really going to want to work with me again. My movie probably won't even be that good. Like maybe if I'm really good at finding a story in an edit, I can make a decent movie, but it's probably not the best version of that movie as it could be. I don't think I will ever stop vlogging entirely. I think there is an art to finding a story in the edit, and that skill will be useful for narrative filmmaking in the future. Vlogging is also a great way to capture memories and just be able to watch them back again, and it's very different from looking at a photograph. However, for my videos from today going forward, I feel like they will be less authentic in the sense that I'm, pointing the camera at myself, but they will definitely be a lot more intentional. The purpose of me wanting to tell good stories is I want to make your day better. I want to make you feel a little bit smarter, and maybe most importantly, I want you to feel a little bit less alone. In order for me to tell you the best version of a story possible is not to rely on random clips from my life and finding out the story afterward. It's about finding the story that I want to tell first and being able to put the best version of that story out there for you. And whether that is from an authentic moment or whether that is kind of made up into a scene, we'll see how that plays out. Right now, I have no idea how to go from what I'm doing into a real Hollywood director one day. But I do know that I need to stop relying on finding the edit in the story and start making more intentional visuals and scripts from the beginning. This is how I'm gonna become a better filmmaker, and this is how I'm gonna be able to make your day a little bit brighter and make my videos a little bit more watchable, which ultimately means I'm becoming a better filmmaker. I could have probably said that better, but yeah, that's it for today. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. That's all. I think that's all. I'm probably gonna, I don't know. Again, I don't have B-roll. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this. This drives me fucking crazy. You have no idea. I always say that as if you can't understand me, but if you make videos, you might understand me.